Hello and welcome to investingold.ca. We are meeting with Vanstar Mining, whose flagship Nelligan Project is a joint venture with IAMGOLD, holding 75% and Vanstar retaining 25% with free carried interest. IAMGOLD is actively drilling the project, and here to give us an update is JC St-Amour, President and CEO. Hello, JC, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for having me.
So Vanstar recently published results from IAMGOLD's drilling campaign. The results are consistent and expanded the strike length. What is the significance of these results and their contribution to the resource update IAMGOLD is planning for later this year?
Well, there's I guess two main points there. One is that these results actually show that the mineralized zone is still open out to the west. They've drilled it out now to 1.5 kilometers beyond the existing resource. And at that 1.5 kilometers, they're still intercepting gold. And then as part of their drill program last year, on top of that, they also did some infill drilling into the deposit, which basically confirms, the grades and the widths that are assumed in the resource. So the quality of that resource will be updated, upgraded, I guess, when you do the update later this year. And then also the expansion at the western will add resources to the updated resource as well. So I think we've got some exciting news here, because it does show that the deposit is still open. It's still open to the west. It's actually still open to the east as well, and also open at depth. And so this deposit keeps growing, and there's no reason to believe that that it's closing anytime soon.
So in your discussions with IAMGOLD, are they actually quite surprised that the 1.5 kilometers that extends that far?
It is, it is kind of, it does extend a long way. So, and you would expect that as you get to the edges and at the ends that, the mineralization starts to thin out and so on. And we do see that a little bit. For example, the furthest hole out to the west intercepted 6 meters of 2.5 grams or 2.6 grams, sorry. And, which is a much thinner intercept than we see at other places in the deposit. Obviously, the main deposit itself has some very wide intercepts. But having said that, that's a decent intercept for a lot of gold companies and gold deposits out there. So, we're still seeing some decent gold, and I'm excited to see how that's going to play in and fit into the updated resource as well.
And IAMGOLD is still actively drilling their winter drilling program. How is that progressing, and what area of the project is being targeted?
Yeah, they're drilling right now on the main deposit, actually below the main deposit. So they're testing a few targets at depth there to see if they can extend the deposit down at depth. If you think about it, the deposit currently is, or the pit shell in the resource goes down to about 300 meters. And at 300 meters, we've got 3 million ounces in this deposit. We effectively have 1 million ounces every 100 meters you go down. So all else being equal, if the grades below the pit shell continue to be the same or even improve, we could have another 1 million ounces with another 100 meters of depth, and if it's 200 meters, and it's another couple million ounces. So the project can grow at depth, and this is what they're testing right now. The program is about halfway done. They've drilled about half of a 6,000 meter program that they've planned. They'll also plan to drill. They'll also drill a little bit to the east and a little bit to the west, just to test a few targets on either side of the pit shell. And then with all those results and the results from the 2021 program, they're going to update the resource later this year. So.
Very exciting. So it sounds like that project could potentially be a double.
There's quite a bit of potential, it can grow at depth, it can grow to the east, can grow to the west. So there's significant room to grow this deposit. So, and there's millions of ounces that can be added in either direction.
And Vanstar just recently optioned the Bousquet-Odyno project from IAMGOLD. Tell us a bit about this project and what your strategy is for it.
Yeah, this project is located in an ideal area on the Cadillac Break. The Cadillac Break itself has produced over 100 million ounces in the last 100 years, so it's very prolific in gold. That whole area of the Abitibi region is one of the largest gold producers in the world after South Africa. And the Bousquet itself has been tested in the past by IAMGOLD and others before that, and IAMGOLD at the time tested it mainly for near surface to try to find surface gold to feed their Westwood mill. And as part of our agreement, if we do discover gold there or a deposit, mineable deposit there, we will process it at Westwood. And our goal, stepping back, IAMGOLD's goal was to find near surface material. So they only drilled down to about 200 meters, very shallow drilling. They didn't quite find enough to justify shipping it to Westwood at that point. But these deposits in the Cadillac Break often have lower grade material at surface and then, blow out at depth. And that's where you find the bigger, higher grade deposits. And as part of that, we will be testing at depth below where IAMGOLD drilled, following some zones that we've seen that are higher grade. And they have intercepted some high grades in there too. There's at least a couple of intercepts that are on the order of 30 grams a ton over 3 to 6 meters, 3 to 7 meters, let's say. And, they had a 16-meter intercept, for example, at a 16-meter intercept at about 10 grams. So, there are some good grades here, and it does deserve a good exploration shot.
And just going back to you mentioning Westwood, so that means that you would save, potentially, if this proves to be a decent deposit, you would save on the capex of having to build a processing plant. You would just have to truck it to Westwood, which is a very ideal situation.
Exactly, and Westwood is located very close to this deposit. It's almost right across the road, so we're ideally situated for that. And the deal is a great deal as well. It could cost us nothing other than spending money in the ground. We don't have to make any payments, or we don't have to issue shares, and it's all about drilling and finding more ore, basically.
And let's just end off talking about your valuation in the market. You often mention in your presentations that based on the current market cap, you're trading about $20 an ounce of gold in the ground for just the Nelligan project and no valuation for anything else.
That's right. Yeah, we're the market doesn't seem to recognize the value of this project. It is a very large project, and we an important point to make is that we are carried all the way to production on this deposit, so we don't have to dilute our shareholders to put it into production at all. It costs us nothing to advance it. We could literally sit on our hands and do nothing and let IAMGOLD bring it into production for us. So from that perspective, that, in my opinion, is worth more than say, someone who would have to obviously raise capital to build their own project. So we're trading at less than $20 an ounce now, with 800,000 ounces to our credit, based on the existing resource. And as I mentioned earlier, where that resource is growing, and if it does double, for example, then we're trading at $10 an ounce. So we're very cheap in the market, and I think we have a great entry point here.
Oh, well, it does sound pretty fantastic, saving on the capex. Well, thank you, JC, very much for joining us, and we look forward to another update from you as we get more drill results.
Thank you very much. Yeah.